Shut up and sit down.
Welcome, everybody, to the 3POA podcast, episode 49. I am your host, Laserpants, also known as Ryan. I am joined, as always, by the CEO of Valaverse, the man behind Action Force, one Bobby Vala.
Well, I get second billing now, huh? Man, usually I'm brought in last. All right.
Well,
all right.
Tony's not here. You move up a spot.
I feel like I should always warrant the final spot.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm not that big of a prima donna.
What are you drinking? What was
I'm
that?
drinking a Jack Honey and Ginger because I needed a little pick-me-up because I am exhausted today. And I was like, shit, I need to be on my A game tonight. I was doing yard work all day. I had a hard workout at the gym today. Kids were savages today. And I was just like, I'm dragging ass. And after I ate a fat dinner, I was like, ooh, I need a little something to get me going. So I got some gummy bears over here. I got my Jack Honey and Ginger, and I'm gonna do all right.
What kind of gummy bears you got?
Dude, there's only one kind of gummy bears. Haribo.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
There's nothing extra in those gummy bears?
No.
Liar!
Listen. Liar! I definitely have the high ground.
No.
Listen, if I were going to do that, edibles wouldn't be my thing. I think I never liked edibles. I think, I don't want to wait 45 minutes. I need instant gratification.
Oh, yeah, I hear that. Hey, well, Tony cannot be here. Tony's going to be a little hit and miss for the rest of the year. He's got work stuff going on. He got promoted or something at work somehow. Something
yeah.
Like that. I don't know.
Turned his back on us and,
Yeah.
This is our way of phasing him out. This is like us writing him off the show,
Yeah. You're not going to be hearing this much more. That's over with. No, I'm kidding. No, Tony's coming back. Probably. I assume he'll be back next week for the 50th show. The 50th.
He better be. He better be.
I have no clue what we're going to do, but we should do something cool.
I think we should just get hammered and just let the crowd ask questions.
And do a giveaway for one of the Vanguard prototypes.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
that works.
Just a random giveaway.
I'm going to give away every Paintmaster that I have here, everything. I want it all gone.
Well, just send them to me and then I'll ship them out for you.
Okay. That works.
But in Tony's stead is our very good friend, an articulated ninja. What's up, Ninja?
What's going on, guys?
6 seconds or less. Don't want to get that copyright strike.
Right.
So you put out a video today.
Unfortunately, yes, I did.
Got a little bit of attention.
Of course, man. It's just, and the crazy thing is, it's not, I didn't care for the attention. I just wanted to share my opinion the same way the people that are happy about it are shouting from the mountaintops about how they're so happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, imagine that. Listen,
I know.
Unless you're positive, you shut up. That's the rule now.
Yeah, watch out. Those positivity pieces will come get you.
Yes, man.
Come
They'll
get
say
you.
negative things about you.
Right.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I don't know if you guys, Ninja, you know, but Bobby, did you hear? There's another Marvel Legends HasLab.
They're doing another one?
Yeah. They're doing a
Really?
HasLab. Yeah. And we are going to talk about that on the show tonight.
Okay. Good luck.
We do have.
I mean,
Go ahead.
it just shocks me. It's like I'm over here doing, a 20-inch long vehicle with tons of shit for under $200, and it's not crowdfunded.
You're a fool. You're a fool. It should have been crowdfunded from day one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
I should be, relying on the customers to help me pay for production and tooling and stuff like that.
You got to dangle that carrot, man.
You
man.
gotta. Yeah.
Don't worry, there'll be
What am I
customers
doing?
that will defend you.
Why am I? Yeah. Why would I pay for the tooling myself and pay for the production
I
myself?
don't know. That's so weird.
I don't know.
So weird.
I don't know.
It's too late now. You've already paid for it.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with I believe in the items that I make, and I'm not greedy, and I'm trying to make sure the customers get something cool and it doesn't, kill their wallet. I don't know. That's it. Listen, that just sounds like crazy talk right there. I must have been eating some sort of gummy when I decided to do that, because no one in their right mind should ever pay for tooling and production up front. Let the customer pay for it. This is the time we live in. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's like, hey, I want to make toys. We'll just let everyone else pay for it, right? Sounds logical. Shit, I haven't done that since Series 1. That was years ago. You know how many items I've put out since then that weren't crowdfunded? Company's still out there doing it. Suck it.
You took a little ice bath today, huh?
I did. Listen, I said on Facebook, it's a love-hate relationship. I started doing, I was reading up on the cold plunge and how good it is. Guy in my hockey team, he does it. And, he lost a ton of weight, and he said it was really good for him. Just like he does it at night, it helps him sleep. And I'm like, well, I have no problem sleeping. But I was like, I want a little focus and pick me up. And I was reading up about it. And, you could either do it during the day, you could do it at night. So I chose to do it in the morning to get me amped up for my day. So I was waking up in the morning. I was getting in the cold plunge. I bought one of the ones that, Instagram told me about, because once you say cold plunge, Instagram and Facebook send you a billion ads.
Right.
So I got one, and it was great. I was loving it. And I hate the cold, but this was a different kind of cold. It's it wakes you up. It's intense. And you felt really, really refreshed. And I was like, this is awesome. And then I was doing it for a month. And then we had PowerCon, and then I went on vacation, and I just didn't do it for 2 or 3 weeks. And I was missing it. And I said, I need a new tub, because the one I had was small and it was a blow up one. It was shitty. So then, they make ones that are $3,000. I have the chiller and stuff like that. So I was like, I bet I could DIY this. And I found, a way to do it. And I went and bought, basically what I bought is I went to Tractor Supply and bought a horse trough. It's a big Rubbermaid horse trough. And it's you could fit in it. I went and, people were probably looking at me why is he getting in that thing? But I got in it and I took it home and I put a new gasket and spigot on it and got an aquarium filter for it. And, I haven't gotten the chiller yet, so I'm still putting bags of ice on it. But today was a long day, and I was out in the sun. I was, doing all sorts of landscaping and stuff. I was I cannot wait to get into that cold plunge. Now it's I'm yes, I can't wait to, fuck off. Fuck off. Fucking out of here.
Fuck off.
Oh, he left. So, how about you, Ninja? How was your cold plunge?
I don't know, man. My cold plunge was going through the goddamn comment section. That's what my cold plunge was. That's what woke me up today.
He's not coming back. He's really mad. Let's go to some super chats. Johnny B. Customs. Thank you, sir. He says, hi, dudes. Sipping pasties and listening to y'all. Did I say that right?
I think so. I don't know what it is, though,
pasties?
but hey, thank you.
There was You asked me a question. I was excited to talk about it, and then I get crickets. So I'm not going to talk the rest of the show. You guys can enjoy talking about this HasLab thing on your own. All right,
come on.
But I'm drinking my usual, Johnny. So thank you for the super chat. Sandico Denon, he says, I have a gaping hole that can only be filled by a good solid 24 inches.
Oh shit!
Of Giant Man. Thank you, Sandico. That was very good. Johnny B. Custom says pasties is licorice-based alcohol from Marseille, France. Why do I got to pronounce all these words? Collect to disconnect. Channel member. Channel member chat. Thank you, sir. He says, did someone say giveaway? I'll take a 3 POA hat.
Right. Where the hats?
I was looking into it today. Okay.
All right.
I got to talk to the channel members and
get it done.
See what works. Thank you, Collect to Disconnect. And Tony Robles, thank you, my friend. The men are back in the house. By the way, those Swarm Horde are absolutely choice.
Yeah. It's cooler than that, though.
Ooh, the Swarm Tracer.
Swarm Tracer.
There's my Horde. I'm just going to let it be silent. It's cool.
You're the host. You're not allowed to do that.
Thank you, Tony Robles.
Shout out to Tony Robles.
Ammo says about the HasLab third tier, it unlocks at 69,000 backers. Ooh. 69,000. And M. Vargo with the member chat. Thank you, sir. Can I get a hat with another special signature? I'll draw on it. Yeah. Hey, Bobby, you looked at your whiteboard lately?
No, why?
No, I don't know. I'm just wondering. Anyway.
Which
you
whiteboard?
should know that means he did some shit to it.
Which whiteboard?
Ninja, what?
He looks
I got
stressed
a whiteboard
now.
there. I got
Now
a
he looks
whiteboard
stressed.
there. I got a whiteboard in the other office.
I don't know. There's a few over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Jeez. What a horrible show. We are here to talk about the Giant Man HasLab. Bam! That's my explosion sound effect.
I couldn't tell. Thank you.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Pretty good, right? All right.
Stop.
It's getting painful.
Come on, man.
Nothing better than just an awkward silence. Headcanon, thank you for the super chat. They should have done Giant Man at his max height, which I think would be 8 foot in scale. Anything less is giant-ish man. Look, we'll get to it. Headcanon, thank you for the super chat. Giant Man and the Wasp. Nope, just Giant Man. I think everyone knew it was going to be Giant Man, even before they started teasing it a few weeks ago, right? With the Avengers. It's the Avengers 60th anniversary this year. They haven't done a proper classic-ish Giant Man, since Toy Biz? 16 years ago.
No.
That was Hasbro.
I did Giant Man.
Oh. I said classic-ish.
No. All right.
Yeah, you did a more modern one. I got the one that you did that's got a Skrull head on it.
I didn't do that one.
Same body, though. Isn't it the Icon's Cyclops body?
Yeah.
So they're claiming that it is inspired by Giant Man's first comic appearance in Tales to Astonish number 49, with details that pay homage to his long comic history with the Avengers. So there it is. There it is, the Hasbro Giant Man, 24 inches tall. You got a little comparison to a 6-inch figure. It looks big, right?
It's weird. Like that picture, like showing it next to Cap, it looks like it's bigger than Galactus. Because like I was looking at the Sentinel in my office the other day, and I was like, is the Sentinel only 24 inches? I'm like, no, the Sentinel's 30 something inches.
No, Sentinel's 26.
Oh, it's 26?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, maybe that's why. Because I was like, wait, Galactus is 30 something, right?
32. but it's 32 to the top of his antlers. Right, so his shoulders
Okay.
are only slightly higher than the Sentinel.
This is going to make my argument so much better now.
But I mean, Cap there goes up to about his knee, about mid knee. Looks good, man. Like 91 points of articulation. They're real proud of that. I think they said no other superhero figure they've ever done has 91 points of articulation, including that big Spider-Man, that 18-inch Spider-Man they did for the.
That was years ago.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire, right? 3. So there he is. You got double elbows, double knees. It's pretty much a standard setup for Marvel Legends, right?
Does he have the double neck joint?
No.
God. Dwight,
there's no double.
Dwight sucks so bad. Like it's painful when you're given the stage and you just constantly screw up your performances every time. Like every time. So, okay, so 91 points of articulation, yet your 6-inch figures have the double neck joint, but you couldn't put the double neck joint in a 24-inch figure.
They did not.
Okay. All right. I'm just putting it out there for you guys. Not trying to hate, trying to be positive. Oh, it's awesome. He doesn't come with the double neck. It's okay.
He doesn't. Single neck. In fact, I don't even know if it's the hinge or the double ball peg. That is information I did not get.
Dwight.
But they did tout the toe articulation.
Yeah, they focused on that one.
Yep. So that's kind of it's been kind of making its way back in the line with Daredevil, Spider-Man, Beast, but it's very rare. Which I'm not the biggest fan of it just because they get so loose so easily, right? Okay. Now, 91 points of that articulation is in the hands. There's 29 points in each hand, which is pretty much set up, I believe, just like the Sentinel or Galactus. They have the same thing, same setup. Here it is. Not only do they have a hinge at every knuckle, but also a swivel. So you can contort those fingers like crazy.
I'm actually just impressed. That's why I'm being quiet, because I do have a lot to say, but I'm being quiet for now because I'm impressed with what you put together. So I'm just enjoying the Laser Pants compilation right here. It's nice.
Oh, my slideshow?
Yeah.
Is it that good?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So there he is. Now, to me, this picture here on the right, that hand looks humongous next to his head, right? Like, I mean, it looks like it would.
I mean, it's a Dwight design, so of course the hands, the arms are going to be long, which they are. Mm-hmm. So of course that hand's going to be too big. Dwight doesn't know proportions. Come on now.
Is that why the shoulders look too small in comparison to the pecs?
He just sucks.
These are all what? Digital renders, right? That's what I'm assuming.
This is all digital. Yeah. This is not pictures of the prototype.
I don't like or trust digital renders like that. It's like, I don't know, man. You would think the biggest toy company in the world, people were excited that they had the prototype on hand. Like, goddamn, is that the least we can do is have a prototype on hand from the biggest company in the world? At least have that.
They had it on the desk for the
millions.
They had it on the desk for the video.
Yeah, what I'm saying is people praise them for that. That is the bare minimum. You should at least have a prototype on. What do you want us to just give out money to pictures? Come on, man.
No, I mean, what I'm saying is they had an actual prototype there on the live stream. It was on the desk in front.
But like, I know, Ryan. I know what you're saying. I know what Ninja's saying. I understand what Ninja's saying because like I'm preparing to launch the Vanguard pre-order, and I'm putting together this really nice sizzle video, and we have some digital render animations, but the whole sizzle video isn't going to be digital renders. It's going to be intertwined with the models above me, so it's like, so you can see the real thing, because you can't always rely on the digital renders. And I think it's like for like a couple pictures, sure, but it's like if you had the model show that. That was what bothered me about the Dragonfly. It was like Dragonfly was done solely on digital renders, and they had some gray model that they brought out like 2 weeks after it launched. It's like you're asking people to not just like you're asking people to fund this thing that $1 billion company can just pay for.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't even like put the effort forward to like
That's what I'm saying, bro.
show
That's
the
what I'm
real
saying,
thing.
bro. Yeah.
You know, and it's like I've never, and it's like it bothered me a little bit that I was using digital renders for the Vanguard. So I've never been a fan of digital renders. It's like, listen, they have a hand painter there that's not on the Marvel team anymore. I think he does G.I. Joe now, which is unfortunate because he's wasted on G.I. Joe. They should put him back on Marvel. He could paint that thing. He paints the prototypes to look exactly like production. So it's like you're using these digital renders, but it's like, no, you can show the real thing. Like show it. You know?
So we're going to get to that because they had a very talented photographer take photos of the prototype.
Okay.
In like, you know, some comic book scenes. So they also were real big on these swappable expressions, which I thought it was going to be like you pop the eyes out, you pop the face part out, and it plugs in. But the whole faceplate here, you get the happy, neutral, and angry, right? It slides underneath the mask and pops in that way. So on Instagram, I think it was Dwight said that the mask isn't going to be super soft, like a rubber that'll break down, which is good. But to me, it's an odd way to do it, to like sculpt the whole face when, you know, we've seen a lot of companies do eyes that will swap right from behind a cowl, like Deadpool or Batman, and then like with the mouthpiece. But I mean, it's fine. They sculpted up the whole face. That's going to partially be under the mask there. And that's everything that's included. So you get the figure itself and the two face plates for $199.99. So under $200.
Make sure you say that. Under $200.
Under $200. 10,000 minimum backers. Which I should have checked. This morning it was at about a third of the way there, like 3,500.
It's at 3,767.
Okay, so it's crawling now. It's really slowed down, right? What's so funny?
What are you laughing at,
bro?
man?
It's just the bullshit, bro. Like under 200, bro. It's $199.99. I swear to God, like Valor knows better than this bullshit. Like if it's gonna be $199, just say 200. Don't say it's under 200 by 1 cent. Like it's, and people eat it up. They eat the shit up. Like it's hilarious, bro. It's hilarious.
No, under $200 is a Vanguard for $185. That's under $200.
Yeah.
That's not a penny under $200. That's
right. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, come on.
Right. It's since there's only one way to buy this, you know, they should just include the shipping in that price. Just make okay. So. You know, I don't know what shipping is. Include the $20 or whatever. 10, 15, $20, whatever they're going to charge.
It's like 15, $20. But you know what? If they included the shipping, that would make the under 200 a little bit more nicer.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, then they could just call it, you know, 215. That's the price. Then you pay that.
Right.
Because there's only one way to get it. So you're paying that shipping.
Exactly.
Now everyone's going to say, oh, but you can just get Hasbro Pulse. Okay. Then add the $50 onto it. Because that's $50.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, $199.99, under 200. And then there is some unlocks. And this was, I think, what kind of drove some people away. Right? I saw a lot of complaining. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the community and kind of the thoughts people have.
The community, bro. I'm keeping up with my comments.
So tier 1 is at 12,000 and it is a zombie head. I don't think it's just the plate though. I think maybe yeah.
It's the plate. It's the plate and the antennas.
And the antenna, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's at 12,000. That's tier 1. So
Yeah,
there
see?
it is.
Not even a head of faceplate
Right.
and antennas.
But you can see why the articulation of the hands was cool the way they did it, because then you can contort it, make it look all
Yeah.
crazy, if, since he's a zombie,
Mhm.
right? And then tier 2 at 14,000, and on this one, you are getting a whole head.
Oh, well, look at that, a whole head. I'm
getting-
being super positive, guys.
Yeah,
I'm being super positive. This is so good.
You are getting
So
the
good.
head.
I
You are
love
getting
it.
the head.
This is great. Great offering.
Now, to me, these unlocks together with the figure seem like one package. So if you don't get them, it seems like you're not getting the whole package, right? For $199.99. If it only reaches 10,000 and nothing else unlocks.
Oh, I know. Yeah, a lot of people are saying if it doesn't reach for this stuff, they're out. Because they offered so minimum that if it doesn't even reach that bare minimum, if it's like, what are you really getting if you don't get this?
Yeah. What do you think, Bobby?
He's waiting. He's
Well,
waiting
I'm
to unload.
gonna wait. Give me the
Exactly.
cue on when I can go,
Right.
and I'll go. I'm gonna go for a little while. I'm gonna go. I gotta touch on a lot of things. A lot of things.
I'll go after him. I'll go after him.
Okay.
'Cause he has the more professional opinion.
Cool. So here he is, and this is the actual prototype photographed by Shooting the Galaxy on Instagram. I think it's at Shooting the G. Great photographer.
He
did a great job here.
Yeah, he did amazing.
Yeah, you kind of see the... Now, listen, if they don't make the box like a building, right? Just make the box a building. You could put it behind Giant Man like in this picture. That would be awesome. I'm glad they didn't make it an unlock like it was for the Rancor. A cardboard
Yay, we got
rock
some
wall, but
cardboard.
just make that part of the box. That'd be awesome.
That would.
It includes a diorama made out of cardboard. It includes an extreme set.
Basically, yeah.
So yeah, there it is. I mean, now a couple things I skipped over. The whole suit does have a texture to it, right? So it's not just a flat plastic. It does have like a fabric type texture to it. The rubber straps are
which let's be honest, that's free. Like that's
right.
not.
It is.
It's a free detail. Putting texture detail in a
listen,
sculpt is free.
Bobby, apparently you've never read YouTube comments because someone is going to be in the comments. You didn't mention the extra texture on the
They
suit.
did it to me. Bro,
How much is that
they
worth?
did it to me already.
Right.
They did it to me already. I was calling it basically a blank body, and so many people were in the comments saying it's not blank, it has texture to it, and they did it to me already.
Texture.
Right.
I know. Oh
And-
my god.
Yeah, and that's not something that you have to pay for extra. They just put you pick the texture you want, right, Bobby, and they put it in the mold.
If you have to photo etch it, it's a slight charge, but it's not like astronomical. But a figure this size, that detail is sculpted in, and that detail will pull off the mold.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the straps. The straps have like a leather texture to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there is a lot of paint, so it's not just a dark wash. There's several different shades of red, as well as the shadowing done. Paint apps. So it's really well done. Like to me, it looks very nice.
Bro,
very nice figure.
I don't think anybody's saying the figure looks ass. Like I'm not saying that. I don't think anybody is saying the figure looks horrible. The figure
Right?
looks
No,
nice.
I know. I'm just giving my thoughts on it.
No, I got to make that clear for us. Otherwise, people will assume that's what we're saying. Like we're not saying the figure looks fucking horrible. It doesn't. It's nice.
They were negative and they just beat it up the whole time. Okay, so I got some comparisons here. So, Bobby.
Okay. You ready?
Go for it.
Okay. Hold on, because I want to put a disclaimer out there. This disclaimer is for the YouTube toy reviewers, the positivity police, the ones that who you are because you're watching right now, because you're jealous that our channel gets more views than your channel. But it's all good. But you're watching, so thanks for the views. And I know you're watching. You can't wait to get your tampon adjusted. Can't wait. Watch. He's going to hate on this. I can't wait. I can't wait to say that I'm positive about it and he hated on it. Because that's what we do, right? That's what we do. So this is a disclaimer for you guys. You guys can suck a dick. And I'm going to say this thing looks awesome. Figure looks awesome. The detail is phenomenal. The paintwork is fantastic. I think it's a very, very cool figure. And it's like, if you're going to do Giant Man, this is the best way to do Giant Man. Like, he looks awesome. And I think as far as like the figure itself, like there's really nothing about it that I don't like. Like, I think the figure's fantastic. I think it's one of their best looking figures. You know, when you go to that scale, you know, you got to make sure that you punch up all that detail and you really make something like impressive. 24 inches, like that's, you know, that's a big canvas. And holy crap, man, I saw that thing. I was like, wow, that thing looks awesome. Now, I'm not the biggest Giant Man fan. I'm not, you know, really an Avengers or Marvel fan. I was a DC guy, but you know, it's like if I had the chance to work on Giant Man when I was at Hasbro, I'd be psyched. I mean, I did that not classic-ish Giant Man in that Ant-Man pack. But no, man, this thing is awesome. So Positivity Police, you can go suck it because I said this thing is awesome. So what are you going to say now? What are you going to say now? Oh, wait, I'm going to give it to you right now because now I'm going to give you some shit. Now I'm going to give you some shit and I'm going to make you all look stupid. Okay? What I'm mad about is not the figure. I'm not even mad about the price. The price to me, I'll start with the price first. The price is a little high. Now, trying to compare it to what's on the market, what came before, looking at the Sentinel, which I thought was taller, but the Sentinel was what, 26 inches, you said, Ryan?
26 and a quarter.
What'd you say?
26 and a quarter.
26 and a quarter. Okay, so a little bigger than Giant Man.
Yeah.
He was $300. That was several years ago. However, I'm sure, you know, I'm going to get a text from Ryan Ting saying, he's got electronics. You know, you can't compare it. No. Listen, electronics, they're not as expensive as everyone thinks. Engine of Vengeance. We're going to get there in a second. The Sentinel had articulated fingers. Okay. But I guess, you know, when you give people just a figure with really nothing else that comes with it, what are you going to actually like touch on? Oh, articulated fingers. Like we never did it before. No, you fucking did it two figures ago. Like the last two figures you did are articulated fingers. I don't think that that's something you can really like highlight. It's old news. You did it. You know what you didn't do? You didn't do a double neck on that figure. So it's like, if you're going to take a figure and just give him the same articulation as your Legends figure, okay, he has articulated fingers, but all the articulation's the same. You did nothing new. Like that's the one thing, like when it comes to the price, it's like $200. You couldn't go all the way. You couldn't go all the way. You want to focus on fingers and toes, but you couldn't give that dude a double neck joint. Good job, Dwight. Dwight, you suck so bad. I hope you see this. I hope you see it because I'm more successful than you'll ever be. And because you suck, dude. You and your top, middle, bottom. Man, what a dummy for saying that. That's going to haunt you forever. But it's like you couldn't even do that. You couldn't even put the double neck. Anyway, trying to be positive, guys. Trying to be positive. Remember, YouTubers, trying to be posive.
This is Bobby being positive.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
It's kind of creepy.
But the thing with the price, I looked at the Super Adaptoid, trying to find a 12-inch figure. Now, it's not apples to apples. You can't just say, well, it's two 12-inch figures. It isn't, and it isn't. I looked at the Super Adaptoid, which is $70. Now, that is a 40% markup from the Captain America that I did, which is that body. However, Ryan Ting, I know it's not apples to apples. However, the cap that I did came with more shit. Your Super Adaptoid comes with less shit. So my, going up 40%, kind of rip people off there. So if you say that thing is $70, two of them is $140. I added another 30% markup on top of that for Hasbro tax, because it's got articulated fingers. There's probably a little more labor. You can't say more deco because the deco evens out over two 12-inch figures. So even if you mark the two Super Adaptoids up 40%, it's only like $180 something. So it's like, okay, you're close-ish. You could have You could have gone lower. Now, we all know Hasbro's markups. I don't want to hear Marvel royalty because Hasbro's markups are ridiculous. I'm sure they could have charged $175 for this, and they would still have unbelievable profitability.
Yes.
However, it's $200. Okay, fine. I'm not going to like harp on the price. I'm just saying it's a little high, but I get it. The Hasbro tax. We all know the Hasbro tax. The positivity police are totally okay with the Hasbro tax because they have to have this. I have to have it. I don't care. It's almost like saying, "Oh, you have one finger in. All right. Well, what's another finger? Just put another finger in. I can handle another finger. Okay, great. That's what the positivity police do. The Hasbros, they love it. What I'm mad about is that this figure totally exposed Hasbro for everything they did prior to this, and it exposed them in a terrible way. Now, we all know we've been there with the Engine of Vengeance and all that. Like, we've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, yes, that failed. So everyone would say, like, well, that didn't fail. So, that was on them. Yeah, no. What they should listen, this was the worst apology. This Giant Man was the worst apology that I've ever seen. The worst. They could have came out after the Engine of Vengeance and said, we listened to you. You're right. We were wrong on this. We listened to you. We're going to make sure now they were just like, we'll just give them something lower next time.
Right.
But now looking back, Ryan did tell me that I'm pretty sure I said publicly on the show that I thought Galactus was a good value.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Galactus was a good value because he came with a ton of stuff. You got, 32 lights, and you got 3 figures. Oh, and then that extra stupid Doom head that Jesse probably pushed on there. Good job, Jesse, because I'm sure everyone loves that head.
And I forgot to put it on here, but he came with 3 faceplates.
Okay, 3 faceplates. But they weren't unlocks, were they? The faceplates came with it?
No, yeah, the faceplates were part of the base offering.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to get to that in a second. But looking at this is $400. The Sentinel was $350. So it's like, hold on a second. Hold on. You're going to now, granted, okay, yeah, the Galactus, there's more to him. He's taller, maybe has a little more deco. He's got the secondary skirts and things like that. Yes, this is definitely a way more expensive figure. Is he $100 or $200 more expensive? Like, this figure at 32 inches and Giant Man at 24, you're going to tell me that this figure is $200 more expensive. Don't count that. And I'm sure I can't wait for the comments saying he came with 3 figures. No, his base offering did not come with 3 figures. You just happened to luck out and get the 3 figures.
Right.
He did not come initially with 3 figures. Always go with the base offering, just like Ninja says. But the positivity police can't take that. No. It has to be what it is. No, the base offering, $400. This figure, you're going to tell me, is $200 more than Giant Man. Stop it. Absolutely stop it. You guys are out of your mind. And then you're going to come out here after Galactus and try to put a car with 1 figure out for $350. You're telling me 1 6-inch figure and then 1 car. A car with a top, middle, and a bottom. A car with lights was $150 more than Giant Man, than a 24-inch figure with 91 points of articulation. You guys, listen, I'm not saying I never want to tell people not to support stuff. It's like, you do what you want with your own money. Hold on. What I'm saying is, guys, you are letting them operate without any accountability. None. Zero. They said they tried to pawn off a $350 car on you. You caught them with their hand in the cookie jar. But then they were like, ooh, watch this. Watch. We'll get them because collectors are easy prey. Easy. We'll give them a figure for $200. And they won't focus on the offering. They'll just see $200. And they'll say, oh, $200, that's way less. That's way less than the Engine of Vengeance. And it totally made you forget about it. Because now you're all like, it's $200. Look how much less it is. Yeah, but look at all the money they got out of you prior to this. They got a bunch of money from the Sentinel, and then they got an extra $200 on the Galactus, and you all fell for it. Now, granted, listen, I got a Galactus. I bought it off of a friend, so I didn't back it. I didn't back the Sentinel either. Or actually, no, sorry, I messed that up.
No.
I backed Galactus. I didn't back the Sentinel. I bought the Sentinel secondhand.
Look at the Sentinel compared to Galactus, right?
Yeah.
Now, the base offering only included one of those tentacles.
That's right.
They threw a second one in at the end because so many of these sold.
Yeah, that's right.
But the unlocks were 1, 2, 3 extra heads and an extra figure, and then an extra tentacle, 18-inch long bendy wire tentacle.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's 26.3 inches shorter than Galactus, but a lot of Galactus was his head.
That's true.
Their shoulders aren't that far apart.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, it's like, you all fell for it. Listen, I fell for Galactus. I mean, but again, I wonder if I would have bought Galactus if all those tiers didn't unlock. Again, base offering $400, no figures, but he came with his faceplates. So now we'll get onto the offering of Giant Man. This is gonna be my last of my rant. You came out. This was your awesome apology, Hasbro. You guys did a fucking stellar job. Greatest at apologizing. The guys did so good. You should probably win an award for it. Said, here's our apology. We'll give them a figure, a 24-inch figure for $200. Okay. So what else are we going to give them with it? Nothing. But we'll give them unlocks. Okay, what's the unlocks? I don't know. What does Giant Man come with? Absolutely nothing, because he fucking sucks as a character. Like, there's nothing that goes with him. That's why, like, this could have been a retail or a Pulse exclusive. You could have made this figure for $175, and you could have sold it on Pulse or in stores, because now you're left with a shit character that has no good unlocks. You mean to tell me that I'm spending $200 on a 24-inch figure, and you don't even have the audacity to give me the faceplates? They're an unlock? Like, for real, they're an unlock? Like, you're out of your mind. It's like, the unlocks are so shitty. And it's like, this is what a lot of people, like, rely on, at least the smart ones that say, no, the base offering sucks, but let's get the unlocks, and then I'll feel better about it. Your unlocks are absolutely dog shit. And I'm calling it right now. I can't wait till there's 2 weeks left and it hasn't funded yet, and Ryan and Dan are trying to push out something last minute. It's going to happen, because look, they do it on all the ones that fail. And the thing is, like, I don't think they've done it on an item that funded, because all these items funded real fast. The Sentinel funded in a day. Galactus, I thought Galactus funded in a day, maybe 2, at the most 2.
Either way, it was pretty fast.
It was pretty fast.
Yeah, Sentinel was the fastest out of the Marvel stuff. Yeah,
but look, the Rancor, they were scrambling. Ooh, let's give you a picture of a fat guy in a leather, hat, and say, we're gonna give this to you. We haven't done it yet because we screwed up. We're gonna give it to you later because all our unlocks sucked.
So to me, that made him look worse.
Right.
It's like, so this was in the budget. You just didn't want to until you were scared it wasn't gonna. And so that's when they showed that, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely out now.
Well, it made the Marvel team look really bad when they said, oh, the early bird Robbie Reyes didn't fund. But God, now I got interrupted. You couldn't wait until I was done before you bring this asshole in.
He brought himself in.
Oh, that's right. He has that access. All right, Tony, hold on. I'm on a roll here. You missed the Robbie Reyes boat, and then you're like, oh, but we can give it to you though. That's better. We can give it to you. We'll give you the Robbie Reyes. So we were just kidding on the early bird thing. Ha, just kidding, guys. Just kidding. you guys look really bad. It's better to just not do it, ride it out, instead of like looking desperate. Like they looked really, really desperate. And it's sad. It's just don't do it. So now I'm not saying this thing isn't going to fund, but you have to go by the metrics. We're at, let's see, what are we at? Let me refresh it so I got an accurate number. 3780. So a third of the way there. You're a third of the way there. And it's like, okay, well, you know, if you don't have something like amazing right out the bat, like again, you gave them a 24-inch figure with nothing else to go with it. Like nothing else. You know, like what do you expect? Like, do you think people are gonna like jump in to get those unlocks? No, man. Look at all the people hanging around saying, no, man, that's a shitty offering. What they're doing is they're gonna wait till you're desperate. They're gonna wait and they're gonna say, okay, we'll wait till they give us a wasp, which they gave you like 100 wasps already anyway. Again, Giant Man is one of those characters that just doesn't give you the opportunities for all this stuff. Like he wasn't in-depth storylines like Galactus was or the Sentinel was, where you can give all these supporting characters and this other stuff because you gave everyone already. Like we have everyone that was associated with Giant Man already. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of like, this is what it is. And Dan already came out in a post and said, there's not going to be any more unlocks. So guys, enjoy those faceplates. You know, so it's just like, guys, like you had the opportunity to say you're sorry and to do it in a really great way. And instead you dropped the ball. Like you just said, no, we're going to keep being assholes. We're going to keep being assholes and putting out mediocre shit because you know what? Because the YouTubers that suck on our balls, they're going to suck on our balls no matter what we give them. So what does it matter? But you know what? More people are watching our channel than theirs. So who's right? What I'm saying is like, do a better job. Like do a better job. Figure's gorgeous. The figure is absolutely gorgeous. It looks amazing. I'm sure when you get it in hand, it's going to look fantastic. Great posability. Sure, it's going to be awesome. But it's like, listen, guys, if you're okay spending $200 on a 24-inch figure that comes with nothing, that's cool, man. That's cool. Right, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that if you are. I mean, I'm not going to back it. I'm not okay with buying that. But if you are okay with that, I'm okay with you being okay with that. Mm-hmm. I mean, all I can do is put the information out there. Like, put it out there, compare it to what they did, and say, hey, man, something ain't right here. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of you that say, I don't care, I need a Giant Man. And I get it, because when you got to, as Talker said, you got to complete the teams, man. I get it. You want to get that Giant Man to complete your team. And that's totally cool. I totally get that. But if you want to be rational about it, you gotta look a little deeper. Get under some of those layers and stuff like that. Listen, if it funds, it funds. If it doesn't, I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm gonna say this is exactly why it didn't fund. It didn't fund because you got a shit offering, you know? Mm-hmm. But if you want to buy it, that's great. Now, you know, the positivity police are just going to say, you're just a hater. I knew you were going to hate it. And you're going to hate it just because you hate Hasbro. Yeah, I fucking hate Hasbro. I will hate Hasbro to the day I die. If Hasbro gave me $100 million for my company, I would still hate them. I would still hate them. There's no like fixing that. Like, I'm not. Now, you can't judge me on it because you weren't in the situation I was, where I gave my heart and soul to a company that then fucked me over. So you can fuck off with that, because you don't know. You weren't in that situation. Yes, I hate Hasbro, but I like good toys. I like good collector toys. If I see something that's awesome, guys, I have a Galactus. I have a Sentinel. Like, I paid almost double what the Sentinel cost because I wanted a Sentinel, and I missed backing it. I backed a His Tank. I missed a Dragonfly. I own Hasbro product. Like, I own it. So, guys, when your argument is dog shit when it comes to me being a hater, like, no, I own some of this stuff. I love some stuff Hasbro puts out. I'm just calling them out when there's some shady shit going on. Like, there's some shady shit going on. And
you're not allowed to do obvious. That, though. That's the thing. You're not allowed to do that.
I guess not. No. What I want to know is, I want to ask the positivity police, why am I not allowed to call out the obvious? Like, am I not allowed to bring up the obvious? Like why? Like
Yo, the
give me a
crazy
reason
thing.
why
No, the
I'm not
crazy
allowed to
thing
do
is
that.
it's not obvious to a lot of people.
I guess not.
It's not obvious. I'm gonna wait. I wanna say hi to Tony and then it's like, hey, keep going.
I'm done. I'm done. That's all I got.
Ninja. Tony,
Well,
hello.
I'm gonna wait to give my rant. I want to say what's up to Tony. It's been a while since I've been with him on screen at the same time. I miss this guy. What's up, man?
Hey,
Hey,
That's what we get. Hey.
that's the voice. That's the voice of a tired man right there.
so went out to Grace's birthday party last night.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Smoked too many cigarettes. Drank 9 pints of beer and 4 espresso martinis, and I've hurt my back.
Sheesh, man.
Well,
But this has been an absolute shit show. I had to come in and rescue it.
Go ahead.
Ryan, how many Ant-Man figures do you have in your collection?
MCU and comic?
Comic.
2. 3.
Do they look like this guy?
No.
Not the same costume. So you can't have
I mean, the Toy
Giant
Biz
Man
one.
and an Ant-Man that look the same.
The Toy Biz one is very close, but it's the Build-A-Figure is very close, but not quite. Why?
Yeah. I just think it's, weird that they've been putting out completely different versions of Ant-Man and then they do this Giant Man.
Yeah.
It looks completely different.
I said if it was Ant-Man, and a lot of people said that in the comments, if it was Ant-Man, they would have considered it more. So it's funny that you asked Ryan that question, but like I only have Ant-Man really in my collection, and they're all the MCU type of Ant-Man. Even if they would have just included that Ant-Man helmet, something would have been better than nothing.
Yeah. Ryan,
Yeah.
are you hosting this show or taking a day off?
He's been doing it all night.
Yeah. I mean, we're just chilling. We don't need to talk. You guys want to talk some comparisons to this thing? I looked for like the closest thing to a 24-inch figure that you can buy at retail.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot. So here's the Sentinel, right? We kind of talked about this. As far as comparisons, the closest thing I could find was like 1/6 scale Mondo. Very similar articulation setup. They're half the size, but they actually cost more. Mm-hmm. They do come packed in with a lot of extra stuff, like the hands, but the hands aren't articulated like Ant-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which you probably don't want at 1/6 scale. So there's these two here, over $200. This is on Entertainment Earth. Mondo owned by Funko now. And then for some reason, Skeletor is $165, but He-Man is $260.
must be that furry loincloth.
Yeah, maybe he comes with more stuff that's not pictured. The offering doesn't look that different to me. But again, 1/6 scale, so that's 12 inches. Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, that's what Tony's doing? I could do it too. Let's do it. Let's do it
What did
together.
this sell for, Bobby?
75.
Wow.
Yeah, that Hulk was.
I mean, that was also 2017. So it's, again, you probably, like I said, when I did the Super Adaptoid comparison, I took the Super Adaptoid price, which was a 40% markup on the cap, and then I added another 40% on top of doubling the Super Adaptoid. So you're saying that, it went up 80%, but it's not 100% like to like. It's like, that's why I added the 40%, the Hasbro tax, because you can't just do two 12-inch figures. It's going to be slightly more, but I thought 40% was high.
Look,
And
you said
40% was still under 200.
You said it's not perfect apples to apples, but it's still comparable. Like there's still
Sure.
comparisons that can be made, even though it's
Sure.
not perfect apples to apples. I get it.
Yep.
NECA here, their quarter scale turtles are about 120. Some were a little bit more on Entertainment Earth. I just picked the one that was up for pre-order. They're $120, 16 and a half inches, 30 points of articulation. NECA's covered. I mean, they use a lot of paint on their figures. The detail, the deco is really, really nice.
Yeah.
And there's interchangeable hands, a lot more accessories than Giant Man's faceplate. And then their quarter scale Batman was $130, similar offering to their Turtles. And that was it. That was it. Are you buying it? Who's buying it? Bobby, you backing it?
No.
Why not?
But I'm not buying it just because I have no desire for a Giant Man. Like, again, I was saying, like, yes, I own a bunch of Legends figures. The majority of them are MCU Legends and Legends that I worked on. But I just, like, I don't have any need for the Giant Man. And it's like, I don't need to see it to, like, see how the construction was done or anything like that, because I have a Sentinel and a Galactus. That bragging about, finger articulation. Yeah, you already did it in 2 figures. So I don't need this new figure where you're acting like it was like,
bro,
this
it was
new
such
thing.
Such a highlight. Oh my
Right?
God. Like,
and it's like, listen,
shit.
If you're telling me that it's such an important thing to highlight on this figure, why didn't you highlight it on the 2 figures before if it was so special and important?
Because this figure
maybe because you made a 24-inch figure for $200 that came with nothing and no one gives a shit about it.
Right.
Like,
so guys, we have to highlight the bare minimum that's here. We got to highlight the toes. We got to highlight the hands. Laser Pants, can I go, bro? Can I say my little rant?
You go for it, man.
Bro.
Well, hold on.
Go ahead. You want to do some super chats first? Let's do some super chats.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
Because we do have quite a few here. Headcanon, thank you. They should have done Giant Man at his max height. I read that, which I think would be a good scale. Yeah.
Clusterfuck.
Better. Jeff, thank you for the member chat. Bobby, I'm loving the Swarm Horde. When can I order 10 of the Tracers?
Probably maybe September, October pre-orders go up. So
all right,
get ready.
Brian Rowland, thank you for becoming a channel member. You can stay and watch the member exclusive after show after this. World Made of Cardboard, does it have ratcheted joints? It does. Dwight made a point on Instagram. I don't think they said it in the live stream. He made it a point on Instagram. I think it was him to say that, yes, it does have ratcheted knees similar to Galactus.
Yeah, you bet your ass he's going to say that because he fucked up on the Sentinel. You think he's going to live that one down? So,
Tony Robles, thank you. It's so awesome. No Wasp and like 2 extra faces. Now I'll just buy a case of Swarm Tracers. There you go, man. Let's see.
Guys,
here.
just buy a Vanguard. It costs less and it comes with more.
Thank you, Tony. CubeTube. Channel member chat. Thank you, sir. Underwhelming. I have one done by a certain unnamed toy maker on this stream. It's awesome. So he has your Giant Man. What was that? San Diego Comic-Con 2015 box set?
No,
2014?
17, 16, 2016.
The 2016? That's one that came with the 3 3/4 Hank Pym and the...
Actually, no. That was my first one. That was 2015.
Mm.
Yeah, because then I did the 12-inch Daredevil. Then I did the Collector's Vault. Yeah, it was 2015.
Cool. Swift 718. What's up, Swift? Good to see you here. He says, salute, gentlemen. Salute to you, man. Thank you, Swift. Let's see here. M Vargo 97. Thank you very much. He says, I backed it. I think it's overpriced, and I hate that it had to be a HasLab. But Hank Pym and his various personas are one of my favorite heroes. They got me by the balls, but it is what it is, I guess. All right, man. Yeah, buy it.
Listen,
right.
Listen.
He said it's one of his favorites. That makes sense. Like, I feel for him in that case. That sucks.
Listen, at PowerCon, I spent $1,200 on a cardboard playset. I can't listen. If you want to spend $200 on the figure, that's cool, man. I'm just pointing out the inconsistencies here. I'm not saying not to buy it. I want everyone to buy one that wants one.
Yeah. And by the way, we said the same thing about the Engine of Vengeance.
Yeah.
So, did I tell you guys I was accused of single-handedly preventing the Engine of Vengeance from being created?
Congratulations.
Whoa. That was me, Ryan. Stop taking credit for that.
I'm not taking credit. I was told that.
Oh.
I was told
Wow, these egos sound like all the other people on YouTube who are upset that Danyon got credit for the toe articulation. I thought that was Shardamus.
Well, if everyone's doing it, Tony, I mean,
It was
Wow.
actually me. I'm taking credit for the toe articulation. It was me the whole time.
I mean,
You
listen.
should.
At the end of the day, whether it was you or me, Ryan, isn't it fun to think that I'm not saying we, like our show, were the only ones that caused the Engine of Vengeance to not to fund. I feel like we were the final nail in the coffin. I feel like we can take credit for ending that because of what we shared on that one show.
Yeah. I think we led the charge without a doubt.
100%. Because I don't think they got any more backers after that.
They were going down. I remember they started losing backers at some point. I don't remember when, but it looked bad. Scott Hughes, thank you, sir. He says, ace, ace, ace. There, I said it 3 times. We need a $99 not small man with several different sizes and an alternate MCU head. Hey, maybe Ace will do it. He won't do it if it funds, though. There'll be no reason to. M. Vargo with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Unlocks are absolute garbage.
Yep.
They're not super exciting.
And this is somebody that is his favorite, one of his favorite characters. He likes it. He's backing it, but he's still being reasonable. He's calling it for what it is. I don't understand why that's so impossible for people to do. Like, you can still purchase something and be logical.
Oh,
Yeah,
we got an answer.
Ninja, when you're logical, they tell you that you're toxic.
Yeah, man. I
Right.
learned that the hard way.
Ace says no. No. Let's see here. We got Old Dirty Collector. Thank you, sir. There's no reason why this needs to be a HasLab when Hasbro offers the Titan series from Transformers at the same height and price. Should be retail. So, yeah. So the arc that they put out, the Transformers arc, I believe was about this size. And it was a Transformer. So, I mean, I imagine it costs more to produce a Transformer with that many parts, moving parts and everything than a dude. Bobby, you have any insight?
I mean, no, I didn't know enough about Transformers, but
Gotcha.
when we do this kind of stuff, we do get a lot of comments about people making comparisons to Transformers items. I just am not familiar with them. I mean, I think what it comes down to is laziness. And here's what I'm talking about. You have the Hasbro sales team, which, listen, I was there. You want to talk about doing the bare minimum? Like, they're the ones that are wearing like 3 pieces of flair. There, if you guys got that reference. they're literally coming in and doing the bare minimum. And they're the ones that always dodge every layoff. It's like, you should lay off the whole sales team. They're all terrible. They're just lazy. It's like, you know, if you tell them they have to sell something in, like, hey, you got to really sell this in, like, what do you mean? Like, well, you got to give me some selling points. And it's like, okay, Transformer is easy. It transforms. Like, I feel like the Transformer sales team has an easier job. You just tell retail, hey, it transforms. And it's like, oh, it's a big 24-inch thing and it transforms. That's all you got to say. If you go to retail and you're like, hey, we got this 24-inch figure of this guy. He's a giant. Okay. He's got a red suit. He beat his wife. I mean, I don't know.
He did. Yeah, that was in the books back in the day. He was a drunk wife beater.
Yeah. Now, I think that selling in a giant man is a lot harder. So, like, we'll just let our customers pay for it. Just let them pay for it. You know, we don't need to worry about a sales team selling that in. Come on, stop it.
Yeah. Ted Darklaw, thank you, sir, for the member chat. He says, I'm on the replay squad. Have a great show. Thank you, sir. And Jeff W, thank you again for the super chat. Aside from the faceplates, I would have liked a 6-inch Hank Pym and a tiny 5 POA Ant-Man figure, all in the same deco as the base offer. That would have been ideal. That would have been really cool.
Too easy.
But you know what they're going to do is they're going to put that 6-inch Hank Pym in a wave. around the time that this Giant Man ships. They'll probably have a whole wave built around Giant Man at that time, I would imagine, if they were smart. Thank you, Jeff, for that super chat. Okay, we're caught up on super chats. Ninja, you got something you want to say?
I want to start off by saying, guys, it's Vala has not watched my video. This is just logical people being reasonable and being like-minded. He did not watch my video yet. Vala, you didn't watch my video. You said that, but in the title I put how Hasbro hurt Hasbro. So it was funny that you said this project exposed their previous projects. And it did. And that was literally in the title of my video. And I said, you know what? I think the price could have been a little bit lower. Like basically a lot of the talking points that you brought up, which were basically facts because you're an owner of a company and you know what the markups are, you know what the prices are behind the scenes. Granted, he's not at that company anymore. I understand that, but he was. So things don't change that drastically. But my video, which he did not watch yet, I brought up a lot of the same and similar points. And there's tons of people in the comments like, oh, it's not comparable. It's not accurate. Or, bro, if they would have did this in reversed, guys, look at it like this. If they would have, they knew that there's no way they could have came out first with Giant Man for $199 and then did the Sentinel and Galactus. Because just like Vala said, it's like, wait a minute, how do we jump up $200? It just put the order backwards and everybody's going to look at it and be like, wow, this actually makes no sense because I can get a 24-inch figure. Now we moved up to the Sentinel or Galactus, which is just a few more inches. And now all of a sudden, there's this huge price disparity. Is it the flickering lights? Is that what the price disparity is? The fucking flickering lights? And when it's just being logical and reasonable. And that's why I said they literally sit back and just fucking laugh at their customers like we have amnesia. Because it's like, guys, all you have to do is pay attention to what you previously purchased. If you just pay attention to what you previously purchased, you can easily and simply realize, holy shit, none of this makes sense. None of this adds up. In an interview that Dan did at New York Comic-Con when they were trying to push that garbage-ass car for that garbage-ass price, the car looked nice. The car looked nice, but the price and the rollout, the package was garbage. When they was trying to push that, Dan said, this was 2022. Dan said, oh, well, and I like Dan. I like Dan more than anybody else on the Legends team. I want to make that very clear. I like Dan more than anybody else over there. But he made a comment and he was like, well, if we did Galactus today, it would be over $500.
Wrong.
Really?
Wrong.
What the fuck?
Wrong.
And then I bring it up and it's like, oh no, like the times have changed. Economy, it's inflation. Oh, the prices then. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That makes no sense, bro. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad. And I'm going to keep saying it too. I get pushback every time I say this. I'm watching the slaves defend the slave masters. I don't give a fuck who doesn't like it. I don't care who doesn't. It is what it is. I literally watch people in my comments, in the chat, and they're literally defending how they're getting bent over. Guys, just pay attention to what you previously purchased and you realize none of this shit makes sense. None of this shit adds up. Like, at all. I don't know, man. It's funny. It's kind of like they normalize the price of regular figures, being that Spider-Woman from the most recent Spider-Man movie. It's like $60. But since they already normalized the price of these figures, it makes everybody blind and makes them feel like, oh, this is a great price. $199, not $200. $199. This is an awesome price. Bro, no, they just normalized fucking high prices in the first place. So you feel like this is a great price. I'm not saying the figure doesn't look great. The figure looks amazing. It's great. If it was Ant-Man, I would have highly considered it. I would have been like Embargo. I would have been like, fuck, one of my favorite characters. Now I have to do it. That literally would have been me. But it's not Ant-Man. I'm not attached to the character at all. But guys, they normalize high prices. So then they give you this. And this should really expose a lot of the shit that they previously did. From the Sentinel to Galactus should expose so much. You don't need Valaverse. You don't need Jada Toys. You don't need other companies to hurt Hasbro. Hasbro will hurt Hasbro. Just give them enough fucking time for them to do it. And they're going to do it. Like, it makes no sense, bro. Why did you say that's basically my rant. But Vala, why did you say wrong when I said he literally said that in 2022? He said, well, if we did it today, it would be over 500. That's fucking
I'm
bullshit,
saying he's
bro.
wrong.
Yeah,
He's wrong.
like what?
100%
on,
wrong.
No,
I like
would
Dan
be.
a lot. I like
Look,
Dan a lot.
I
but that
like
was-
Dan too, and it would be over 500 because of the fucking greedy ass Hasbro tax.
Yeah.
So maybe he's not wrong. Maybe they would charge over 500, but it's like, guys, wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. I literally had people in my comments saying, "Oh well, because you purchased a $90 figure, you're wrong for saying that this is bad or this is too expensive." No, the fuck I'm not. I can purchase $100 or $120 figure, but I'm logical and I'm reasonable, and I can still say, hey, even though I purchased a 6-inch figure for $100, I'm gonna still be able to call a spade and be like, this shit still shouldn't be, $199. This still could have been cheaper. I know when I'm overpaying. I admit when I'm overpaying, and then I admit when I'm not overpaying. But it's like there's no in between. There's no balance with people. Everybody's on some extreme. So if you buy an expensive figure like a Mezco figure for 120, you're just supposed to look at this giant man and be like, "Oh my God, it's so amazing." No, the fuck it's not. It's the bottom of the barrel bare minimum. Bottom of the barrel bare minimum.
What
It's
year
funny.
did Galactus come out?
He shipped last year, 2022, so he went up in 2021.
Okay, hold on.
And we're negative because we're just being logical and we're looking at the facts. Like,
Okay. So, based on the U.S. inflation calculator, Dan, in 2021, if an item purchased for $400, then in 2023, actually, you can't even say that because it was 2022 with the Engine of Vengeance. So let's fix that. The same item would cost $432.01, a cumulative rate of inflation of 8%. Dan, I like you a lot. You can't say stupid shit like that. You're going to end up like Dwight.
right,
Okay?
which is defending.
Trying to
this is
help you. Trying to help you.
defending stupidity. Please
Can't-
don't defend stupidity.
Can't say stuff like that.
If Dwight wants to say dumb shit like top, middle, and bottom, please let him jump off that bridge by himself.
Yep.
I think everybody agrees Dan is the most likable one out of everybody. I think he's everybody's like fan favorite. He's the fan favorite. Bro, let Dwight say the dumb shit by himself. Please do not defend that level of stupidity. Don't. And then even if it is true, guys, let's pay attention. They're giving you a comparable figure. This figure is so comparable to the Sentinel and Galactus. It's basically just missing the lights and some sculpting. And where is that price disparity? Come on, bro. This is common sense shit. This is basic shit. And people are so used to being slaves that they'll literally defend the slave masters and they'll be like, oh no, everything they do, everything they give is great. Bro, why can't you buy a figure and just admit when you're overpaying? Why can't you buy? You see how reasonable Vargo is? He buys shit and he knows when he's overpaying, but it doesn't matter. Life is short, and that's what I say all the time. Life is fucking short, bro. Have a fucking blast. Buy what you want to buy. Do what the fuck you want to do. I think low key, this is the most I've ever fucking cursed too on a podcast.
I was
But
just
it's
thinking,
it's so annoying, bro. My
We're
bad.
gonna
my
get
bad.
demonetized
No,
real quick
nah,
here.
my bad. But it's so annoying to watch people be so blind to the BS. Like I don't know, man. I don't want to get nobody demonetized, so I'm gonna chill out. But this is just common sense shit, and nobody, and not nobody. Obviously, we do. We have some reasonable people in the community, but people just act like it's not logical or just common sense shit. And whether you're a content creator that's making action figures like the Foosh, and so you're making an action figure, you're charging $70 fucking for one Ninja Scroll figure, and it's like people see that price and they're like, oh man, Giant Man is great. No, it's not that the price on Giant Man is great. That's too fucking much for a Ninja Scroll figure. And I saw the figure at PowerCon and I thought the figure looked nice. I told Robo, hey, this figure looks nice. He didn't have a price up there, probably for a good reason, but I told him, hey, the figure looks nice. It's not that Giant Man is such a great deal and it's such a great price. No, but since you guys usually get bent over for a bunch of other stuff, it's like, oh, this bend over ain't that bad. Come on, man. Come on. I'm done, bro. My bad. I'm done. Go ahead.
Hey,
Go ahead.
You know what I told?
Thank you.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Thank you.
Yeah, I told Robo something too. I think I told him like 3 times when Series 1 of Action Force came out that I would send him product for free. But I remember hearing him say that the line was too hard to follow or something like that. So I don't know why. Maybe if you would have answered one of those messages, it wouldn't have been so hard for him to follow. I don't know.
And look, here we go. I recently got a comment. Somebody left an entire novel on my news video because they said, hey, What's the difference between you nitpicking and just talking about what you want to talk about in your news videos and Robo choosing to leave out Valaverse? No, there's a total difference here. There's an entire catchphrase that he coined. Robo don't know. There's tons of times he talks about shit that he has no idea about. He says the names wrong, and so do I. That's totally fine. But then it's one thing. I don't do this to any company on my news videos. I genuinely talk about what I'm interested in, and I leave out what I'm not. It's a total another thing when he literally avoids it at all costs. That's not what I do. Like, it's two totally different things.
Well, here's the difference, though. It's like, yeah, he's allowed to not talk about action for sure. Again, I said,
but just don't BS about the reason, bro.
But exactly, and that's the thing. We come on and we give our opinion on this, and we give supporting information. So yeah, he can not talk about it. That's fine. That's his choice. But at the same time, don't make up a stupid excuse, because I'm gonna like literally he said it. He said what he said, and it's like, whoa. Just remember, there's a guy out here that sent you a bunch of messages offering to send you free product. So don't claim that it's too hard to follow. It's why you don't get the stuff. So yeah, you can absolutely not report on it. Right. Just come out and say, I don't want to report on it. Or say, I have no interest or something. Don't make a bad excuse because I got the information that's going to call you out. Like, he could have came over to the booth and he could have said, he could have came over and talked. We could have talked. And I would have said, hey, man, surprised you said what you said. I would have sent you some product. But instead, he stayed far away and just watched our line and said, shit, wish I wasn't in bed with Brian Flynn, because I would really love to report on that stuff, because there's something really good going on over there. But,
so to this person,
we should be an objective news source, but instead we get into the beds of this guy over here.
Right. There's so many BS politics behind the scenes, and people are just aren't honest about it. The shit that I don't talk, the stuff that I don't talk about on my channel, I say up front, hey, I'm not interested in it. I don't like it. It's not for me. Don't make up some excuse about, oh, it's too hard to follow it. That's not the truth. So I don't have no issues with Robo, none at all. I watched his videos for years. That's not, I don't care whether it's Robo or it's Derek from down the street. When I see a grown man not being straightforward, and I just don't respect it. Like, I don't respect that action. It doesn't mean that I don't like him. It doesn't mean none of those things. But anytime I see a grown man try to avoid confrontation or I don't respect that. Like, I don't respect it. So if, like you said, it's his priority, his channel, he can report on what he wants to, the same way I can report on what I want to. But at least be honest about, or, just give a better reason as to why. Don't pretend. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the BS, the pretending.
Yeah.
The same way we're going to pretend that this Giant Man figure is less than $200. Let's all just keep pretending.
So when you go to a YouTube channel's homepage, there is an About tab. And in that About tab, it's like the mission statement for your channel. So to that person who wrote that novel to you, Ninja, right? I'm going to read out one phrase here, and you guys in the chat tell me whether this is Ninja's channel or the Fwoosh. It says, the very first line, your home for action figure news. Is that on the About tab of Articulated Ninja's channel, or is that the Fwoosh?
That is, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. If it's supposed to be news, then just report on it. It doesn't matter how you feel about the owner, the creator. It doesn't matter. If you're supposed to report on the news, then report on it. It's 6-inch military figures. How many other lines are doing that right now?
Is this a non-durable goods situation we got going on over here?
All right, let's
Ryan,
get to
so you've got a Sentinel and a Galactus on display in your collection.
3 Sentinels.
3 Sentinels and a Galactus on display.
4 Galactuses.
Are the lights turned on?
I'm kidding. I don't have 4 Galactus. I have 1 Galactus. No, they're not turned on. They're only powered by batteries, not USB.
Yes, it's kind of pointless, isn't it? Anyway.
Pretty much, unless I'm going to take a photo, yeah. I would like to be able to turn them on, by having them plugged into the wall. Just have like a switch, flip it on.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But without that, they're pretty much worthless.
Yeah, and you don't want to put it on the shelf with batteries in them, because it sits there too long. The batteries start leaking, damages the inside. I don't really like. Not a good way to go. But Are you USB cords expensive? I don't know. Maybe.
No.
Let's get to the.
I never did a USB item.
Let's get to the comments here, guys. We got a lot of comments. Okay. Oh well, I'm gonna get right to this one.
Get to
Ninja.
Dan's comment. Yeah, go to Dan's comment. I want to talk about that one.
Dan says, wait in the comments. I thought we ended it cool, and then in the live, you're telling me to STFU. What's that, Bobby? You know for a fact that financial targets change every year, not just by us. INFL.
Cool. I'll go first before you go, Vala. Like, nah, we're cool, bro. I wasn't saying that. That was just me being riled up. I wasn't specifically saying for you to STFU. That's not what I was saying. I was talking about the people that literally believe every single thing that comes from the company that you work for. But I was not specifically talking about you. No, I wasn't. In my eyes, we're cool. If we're not, you let me know. But in my eyes, we're cool. I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about the people that believe every single thing that your company says or does, or, you know, the employees say.
We always make a delineation between the Marvel team and the suits above them.
Yeah.
We know it's not their call.
And I've said in multiple videos, I'm never for, and I tell people all the time, stop attacking unless you have some personal experience with these guys as individuals. Then, hey, you're justified to, if your experience was negative with them, you could speak about that in experience. But if you never met Dan, if you've never met Dwight, Vala has personal experiences with these people. But if you don't have no personal experiences with these people, why are you personally attacking them or talking shit about them? These guys are just trying to do their job. So,
I got, just so everyone in the chat knows, I would send Dan the link, but he wouldn't come on. Hasbro wouldn't allow that.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. I wouldn't want. He would get in trouble. I wouldn't want him to get in trouble.
Hey, I invited Ryan Ting on, and he's not coming on.
But because Dan doesn't run from anything, he would do it. But he would get it. I wouldn't want him to get in trouble.
I mean, it seems like it's a way different time at Hasbro. Shit, man. When I was there, you couldn't go on social media and say the shit that Dan's saying. You get fired. Mm-hmm. You know. So now it just seems like, hey, go do what you want to do. Everyone's got social media accounts. So yeah, different time. But hold on. I want to address Dan's because I don't want to make it seem like I'm running from it.
The second part was for Vala.
Dan, I get it. I get what you're saying, but to throw that back at you, it's like, all right, well, you did a Sentinel for $300. Was it 3 or 350? 300?
350.
350. Mm-hmm. So then you say, then you're going to go up $50 to 400 for the Galactus. What, a year or two later? Okay, well then you're going to say a year later. Okay, well then you said a year later you're going to go, instead of going up $50, now you're going to go up $100 and say the Galactus would be 500. I get what you're trying to do. You and I both know. Listen, unless you ran the costs, and if you ran the costs, whoever gave you those costs are out of their mind. There's no way that the Galactus would go from 400 to 500 in a year span. There's just no way. It just doesn't happen. I would know, man. I know you're on the marketing side. I know you see the cost sheets and things like that. Listen, I'm in the production end of things. I know what cost of goods are and raw materials and things like that. I know what goes up in labor and that sort of thing. So I know that you couldn't go from 400 to 500 in a year. Just for like to like. It's not possible.
Okay.
Unless you ran the cost, then I'm wrong. But I don't think so.
All right. Blade Runner says, don't forget Unicron. Yeah, Unicron was 500. Massive. I don't remember how tall it was, but it was pretty damn big.
No royalty. No royalty, and they still charge 500 for that thing.
Yeah. Let's see here. Collect a disconnect. I can imagine Dwight watching this on his TV in his boxers drinking a Bud Light.
In a flannel shirt. That's all that dude wears is flannels. You can say, hey, Dwight, we have important people coming in. Make sure you wear something nice. And I'll come in with a flannel shirt. Or he's one of those guys that wears a blazer over a T-shirt, jeans. Like, guy's just useless. He's absolutely useless.
Dan says, I feel like Bobby, you and I would have been the same on the team, just yelling all the time. Haha.
Vala said that before. Vala has said that before.
I reached out to Dan really early on when he started working for Hasbro. I was like, bro, I wish we could have worked together because we would have been Listen, they would have hated us together. We would have been terrible for them.
Yeah.
Because it would have been bad. Because we would have been, when I was in the meeting trying to fight for Yondu's fucking arrow, Dan would have been there right next to me, be like, Yondu needs his arrow. But it's still, I got crickets from Ryan and Dwight over there, you know, when they want to cut Yondu's arrow. Dan, you would have been on my side.
Yeah. You guys could have listened to Drake together. You could have put on a Drake CD. You and Dan Yoon. Do you know who Drake is, Bobby? Is that over your head?
I know he's a musician. I don't know who he is, though.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you when he's done.
Let's see here. Junkion says, calling it now. Wasp will be shown at PulseCon. They might pull a Wasp out of their sleeve if it's not going to fun, like the Black Series did the Rancor Keeper. You know, we'll see.
Desperation.
Strident is happy that Wasp is not a tier goal. Now that's something to talk about, because what if you don't want a big giant man? You just want a 6-inch giant man and a Wasp to go next to him, but they're both locked behind a HasLab that you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
I actually prefer the 6-inch figures to be sold separately.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they would have included Wasp and a 6-inch Ant-Man, you can guarantee that price is going up another $50 because they're not giving away anything for free. We already know how they operate, right?
But since they haven't done Ant-Man in the same style, like the same costume as this guy, they have not since the Toy Biz era, I don't think. So would a 6-inch version of Ant-Man in the exact same costume as this, that would have been an acceptable tier, I would have thought. Better than a faceplate or a head.
It would, and there is two ways of looking at it. Like, hey, if I'm going to go in on this thing, throw an extra, right? But we know they're not throwing it in for charity. They're going to bump that price up, right?
Well, I mean, don't gigolos charge by the inch?
Is that why you're always on clearance?
Oh,
wow.
Got him.
Hey, you started asking a question earlier and you never went round the table.
All right, Tony, you want to give your thoughts?
What? Who's backing this? So, Bobby, you're not backing it?
yeah, but I'm not backing it. Just I have no, and I said I have no reason for a giant man. It's just I don't collect like classic Avengers. I have the Thor I worked on, but it's not like something where like I'm like a talker where I need that to, you know, to complete my team. I just have no interest in it.
Gotcha.
Ninja?
But I have interest in a drink that I need to refill.
Nah, Tony, I'm not backing it. If it was Ant-Man, like the MCU Ant-Man, I think I probably would have did it, and I wouldn't have been happy about it, but I would have looked at it like I did the Sentinel, like, hey, this is going to be my only opportunity. But because it's not, I have no attachment to this character.
Okay.
Cool.
Did you answer already, Ryan?
I backed it.
Okay.
I think I was like the 64th backer.
Mm-hmm.
I was in when I saw the $200 price tag and the 24-inch giant man.
Mm-hmm.
Sold.
Right.
I want it.
So, a 24-inch plastic toy, is that going in the collection room or are you keeping it in the bedroom?
Well, I already got a 24-inch plastic toy in the bedroom, Tony.
Oh, come on, son.
With super articulated fingers, you know, for when they put that
my
extra finger in.
Real quick, stupid StreamYards won't show it, but Junkion Crafts just gifted a membership to the channel, and looks like Joseph Bett got it. So thank you, Junkion, and Joseph. I hope to see you in the after show about 15 minutes after this ends. All right, back to the chat.
Oh, I don't see any more comments from Dan. I hope they didn't yell at him and tell him to get off our stream.
They probably did. You know, they try to keep a tight leash. They probably did.
Dan, if they do anything to you, I got a job for you right here.
Facts. Dan's too real anyway. But quick question for the chat. If they would have did it backwards, guys, do you think that the Sentinel and Galactus would have been as successful if they would have did this figure first for $199, and then they would have came in and tried to do Galactus for $400, or do you think maybe that would have revealed too much. Like that would have
Yeah, we'll put it this way. I think that if the Engine of Vengeance funded,
Mhm.
Giant Man would have been $300 all day.
Yeah,
of course.
All
Yeah.
day.
I agree.
Yeah.
And
then-
I think the Dragonfly would have been 300 or 350.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Engine of Vengeance changed everything.
Like, how is the Dragonfly 75 less than the Engine of Vengeance?
exactly?
I mean, granted, I know everyone's going to say, you know, you got to pay the licensor.
Yep.
But the Dragonflies, there's a lot more to it. It seemed like to me, it was huge.
Yeah. The tools are probably bigger.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, the Engine of Vengeance, and the Rancor. The Rancor was like the snowball starting to go down the hill, and then the Engine of Vengeance was it just going down the hill. You know, but yeah, no. And listen, any one of these stupid YouTube reviewer positive police idiots out there, they can't say that no, Giant Man wouldn't be 300. No, 100%. Like, I know, like, we don't know because for sure, I'm saying I'm 99% sure that if the Engine of Vengeance funded at 350, Giant Man would definitely be $300. Definitely. You can't argue that. You know, they were greedy. They said 300 for the Sentinel, 400 for Galactus. Ooh, let's go. All right, we'll go a little lower. We'll go 350. Oh,
I think it's important to point out, like when you're talking about, you know, them being greedy, Bobby, you're not talking about the likes of Dan Yuen and Ryan. It's the company, the corporation.
Yeah, and it's there's, you know, a particular person there. He's not there anymore though. Guess who won, bitch? I got your $20 bill signed, dick. Yeah, but although like he wasn't, from what I've been told, he wasn't the one making the decisions on that stuff because he had moved over to games already. But I'm sure whoever he brought in, his successor, made sure, hey, do things the way I do things, like really dumb and greedy. Do it that way. But yeah, that person, that VP or that senior VP of marketing, Dan's boss's boss, that's the person that's saying what the price should be. They're the ones saying, no, take Yondu's arrow out because you're welcome, Dan. I saved your job.
Curse of Fenrir, Bobby offers Dan a job. Now Hasbro can't fire him. Thank you, Curse of Fenrir.
But yeah, so that guy, that's the guy making those stupid decisions. Like, he's the one saying, no, he did Galactus at it sold at 400. We could definitely get 350 for a car. It's a car. It's got a top, middle, and bottom. Right, Dwight? A top, middle, and it's got a top, middle, and bottom, right, Dwight? Oh, yeah. It's got a top, middle, and bottom. But yeah, no, it's like they got greedy, man. They got greedy. And that's why you're getting this at 200, because you wouldn't, you know, thank us for making the Engine of Vengeance fail so that you guys can get this at 200. Because if you guys backed it and it funded, you're getting it at 3. So you're welcome. We saved you $100.
Listen, Dragonfly 275. It's because the EOV failed. I'm saying that
100%.
100%. Albatross. Alberto. Alberto Morales says, I can't wait for the Valiverse steamroller vehicle so you can steamroll all the haters.
I mean, I'm not going to do another vehicle because the company's failing. You know, it's failing. We're going out of business soon, so
it's pretty much over.
We're not going to be around to do another vehicle.
Blake Tarpley wants to know if it has a thigh cut.
Yeah, where the shorts are.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah,
there is a thigh cut there. Yeah. Just plain reviews. HasLab was supposed to be projects that Hasbro couldn't do. They could have made all of these previous HasLabs. Where is our Blackbird or Danger Room? How about an Avengers Tower? I mean, those would be massive. Blackbird would be cool. They could scale it down a little bit. Ninja, you mentioned that in your video.
If you scaled it down and you charged 500 for it or 600 for it, look at the sail barge. Look how big the sail barge is.
Mm-hmm.
You mean tell me you can't do like that? You could do that. You could totally do that. That thing is huge. Yeah. Like you could do a scaled down Blackbird.
And that's what I'm thinking. I mean, as far as popular massive characters, and when I say massive, I also mean popular, massively popular, right? We're already kind of seeing there's less interest in Giant Man than Sentinel and Galactus, obviously.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
What's left? A lot of people say the Beyonder, or Bobby, you had an idea for
Infinity.
Infinity.
Yeah. But again, that's such
the-
an obscure fucking character, man.
Exactly. They're
Well-
very obscure. So what's next? I think next is the Blackbird.
Yeah, the Blackbird. I mean, I've heard some people say the Fantastic Car, but that thing's so lame.
Yeah, the Fantastic Car is dumb looking. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I would get one, but it is kind of it's pretty corny looking.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
Quinjet,
well, that's-
but
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think-
the thing with some of these, like these HasLabs, you start running out of ideas. Like
Mhm.
it was kind of like how I felt on the vehicles line, which you can tell with, granted, yes, they did a Hawkeye on the Sky Sled, but that's a one-off item. When I was doing it, it was an assortment.
right.
It was an assortment year after year with multiple items. And it got to the point where I'm like, holy shit, we got motorcycles. Like you painted us into a corner with motorcycles. And now it's like, what do we do? Okay. I got lucky with Deadpool riding a Vespa in the like the leaked movie things. Like we lucked out with that one. Professor X, me and Ryan had to literally give up like a piece of our soul, like Voldemort, to get Professor X done, which blew my mind. But then after that, you saw like it kind of went away. That SKU kind of went away, and then they just did like a one-off here. I don't
Hawkeye,
think they
yeah.
did any other vehicles besides the Hawkeye and the Sky Sled. So it's like,
I got a question.
yeah.
Question for you guys in the chat. Does anybody think that Fin Fang Foom would have been doing better than Giant Man is right now?
So I'm seeing a lot of Fin Fang Foom.
Right.
He is more obscure than Giant Man, because Giant Man has been in the MCU.
But he's still like a dragon. He's not just a plainclothes person.
Right. Yeah.
Fing Fang Foom would get you like a bit of like a crossover. Like you get some of those fantasy like Four Horsemen fans buying that.
Exactly.
The
Because he's a dragon.
supplement in there. Also, Fin Fang Foom is so expensive on the secondary market that I think he would do better just because of that. People that are like, shit, I really want a Fin Fang Foom, but I can't get it because that one build-a-figure part for that one figure in that Hulk wave is impossible to get, kind of thing. So, you know, I think Fin Fang Foom. I don't think Fin Fang Foom would do any worse than Giant Man at this point.
Okay. But I mean, I know that the Build-A-Figure goes for a lot still. It's because it's the only one that exists.
Yep.
But just the character itself, not nearly as popular as Giant Man, in my opinion. I mean, Hank Pym and Steve Lang, they're both in the MCU. That automatically makes them more
True.
well-known, and I think more desirable.
True.
And do villains? Well, I think villains do okay, right? There used to be a thing where villains don't sell as well as the heroes, which is probably true, but
Depends who the villain is.
yeah,
It all depends on the character. If you're trying to sell, Claw, yeah, he's not going to sell as well as Doctor Doom.
right. Okay.
It's the same thing with like female characters. There was that stigma about female characters peg-warmed, and yeah, they did. But a lot of Marvel female characters suck.
I mean, yeah, the female Marvel Legends sucked until like last year.
Yeah, but like
You know,
look at Jean Grey. Jean Grey sells, like 90s Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Great figure, sells. Jubilee sells. Storm sells. But when you start trying to do like Miss Marvel or Spider Girl, that's when it gets bad.
I personally, I would love a gigantic Fin Fang Foom. I'd be all over that. I've said it before. Frost Giants. I don't think they'll do a Frost Giant HasLab. They're pretty well. They were in the MCU, but if they do a Frost Giant, I bet they take one of the 12-inch bodies with some new deco, put out a Frost Giant at retail. Like maybe the Thor body or something. All right, back to some super chats here, guys. Thank you so much for being patient. It's been a hell of a show. A world made of cardboard. Thank you. Transformers Nemesis is 23.5 inches tall, transforms, and is $200. I mean, under $200 on BBTS.
Under 200.
That's gonna be the new line, under 200, bro.
Under 200. That's a good point. I mean,
The top,
I don't
middle, and
think-
the bottom for under $200.
Yeah. All of us on the panel here are saying this could easily be on Pulse, on BBTS,
Mhm.
Entertainment Earth, everything.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We got one from Headcanon. Thank you, sir. Transformers Titan size figures are about 200 and around 20 inches. Plus, they transform and don't need crowdfunding. Agreed.
Yep.
Let's see here. And thank you for that, Headcanon. M. Vargo. Thank you, sir. It's okay, Bobby. I still got like 1,700 earmarked for Action Force stuff coming out the rest of the year. Damn.
You might need a little more than that there, bud.
Shout out to Zoe Vargo for putting up with this guy. Huh?
Right?
Hey, Bobby, I get my yearly bonus on Wednesday. Get some pre-orders up, man.
Soon. Working on it. Working on it.
Quick before I spend it.
World Made of Cardboard, once again, thank you, sir. Can you tell us what cardboard playset you bought for $1,200? I'm very
You bet I
interested.
can. I bought the Kenner Sears Bespin playset. It was a cardboard fold-out playset of Bespin, and it came with 4 figures. But the playset itself was still folded, had never been put together. None of the pegs had been in it. The peg holes still were unpunched. The figures were still sealed in the bags. The pegs were still sealed in their bags. This thing is like mint. The box is mint. And I just love Empire. And I'm a sucker for cardboard playsets from back then. And I needed it.
And let me guess, you just dumped it on that pile of other vintage Star Wars you've got out in the warehouse.
Yes, 100%. I was literally video chatting with
pile.
my friend yesterday, and I just buy stuff and it gets thrown on a pile, like because I just ran out of time and room to display stuff. I'm trying to move into a bigger office with a bigger warehouse so I can maybe set some stuff up. But yeah, it's like, dude, Ryan saw I got a pile of Mafex figures like as tall as me just sitting there. It's so bad that I bought multiples of the same figure because I don't remember what I fucking got. I literally got Huntress and Nightwing in, and I'm sitting there eating dinner and I'm looking at them, and I said to my wife, I said, I think I bought Huntress already. And she's like, you don't even know? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah.
Dude, you got to open that Nightwing.
Is it awesome?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks
really
awesome.
good.
But yeah, I just threw it on a pile, Tony. Just like
Yep.
the dozens of other. Listen, I got into Kenner Indiana Jones. I got almost the whole set. Dude, I got a mint box sealed what's the Cairo fruit stand playset. I just threw that on top of the pile. It's just,
Yeah, well,
Cool.
real
when
world
you start up
problems over
companies
here.
as successful as this, you've got that fuck you money. You can do what you want, man.
Well, I'm busy because everyone keeps buying my shit, so I'm busy like getting stuff done. So I don't have time for my Star Wars stuff, But listen, the company's going out of business soon, so I'll have time to play with all the stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, John. Duarte Studios, thank you for the super chat. Some people will never understand how it feels to give your all to a company and have them spit in your face. Evening, gents. Keeping it real. Keep keeping it real.
That's my biggest gripe. It's like, listen, if you don't like me, if you don't like my opinions, that's fine, man. I don't give a shit. But when you're just like, he's just a bitter ex-employee, like, hold on a second there, dumb shit. Why don't you alter your life and quit your job and go back to school, not just to get a degree in toy design, but I didn't just want to work in the toy industry. I wanted to work for Hasbro. I went back for one company. I had a singular vision. That was all I did. I went back to school
real
for
quick.
4
Didn't
more
you
years.
turn down another company just to work at Hasbro?
I turned down. So after I graduated, I got a job at Fisher Price working on Thomas the Tank Engine, which I wanted to blow my brains out. Oh God, it was awful. It was awful because there was no work to do, and it was just boring shit. And Fisher Price just sucked. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm, emailing the guy from Hasbro, when are you guys gonna have a job? When are you guys gonna have a job? We're working on it. Crayola, I don't know. I think either I applied for it or they reached out to me. Crayola had a job. I went out there, nailed the interview, right there on the spot, they're like, we're going to send you an offer like in 2 days. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, cool. You know, Pennsylvania's relatively close to New Jersey for me, you know, and they sent me the offer, and it was like, at the time, a huge amount of money for me. And I was like, whoa, like that's a lot of money. And then Hasbro was like, hey, we got a position, but it's, you know, it's a temp position, like a 6-month temp position with the possibility of it becoming a full-time job. There was no guarantee. I could have went there and they could have been like, 6 months are up. All right, we'll see you later. So I was like, shit, well, I didn't go back to school to go work at Crayola. I went back to school to get my degree to go work at Hasbro. I turned down a ridiculously paying full-time job to go work for Hasbro for a temp position because I gambled on myself. I said, what? I'm turning that into a full-time job. And that's what I did. I went there. I remember like telling the guy at Crayola, he was like, wait a second, you're turning down this offer to go work for a temp position at Hasbro? I'm like, dude, that's what I wanted to go do. So I went there and I was loyal. I gave it my all. I fought for the product. I fought for the product that you guys buy. That's what pisses me off. It's like I was sitting there busting my ass for the product that these dumb fucks buy. And then they want to say that I'm like a bitter ex-employee. Yeah, man. No shit. No shit. I went there for a job that I loved. I worked hard. I made hundreds of millions of dollars in sales on the product that I worked on. I won awards that people hadn't done in the boys team for like 15 years. I excelled there. I got a bunch of promotions like the second I got there. I excelled because I busted my ass because I loved that company. And that company said, see you later. So it's like, fuck you, man. Like, you don't know. You've never been in that situation. It's easy for you to sit in your mama's basement, you know, with Cheetos all over yourself saying, just a bitter ex-employee. Yeah, man, because you never amounted to anything. You never worked hard to get somewhere and to give it your all at something. So when you say it, just know that you're worthless. There we are. Because look, I left and look what I built. Look what I made.
Alex said
So
you
where are
left.
you?
Alex said you were offered twice as much to draw porn comics after that.
I made nothing on those porn comics.
Thank you, Alex.
I think I lost money. I think it was like $15 a page. It was something really bad like that.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. And I drew slow, so like those I think it was 6 pages. You know, those 6 pages took me like, you know, like a month and a half because of how slow I drew. I lost a lot of money on that deal. Plus, I had to buy a bunch of porn reference and shit like that. So I lost a ton of money.
Not Top Goon. God. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Unlock is just another layer of scummy marketing out of an already predatory practice from a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Bobby's a fine example of why you would need crowdfunding and when to not.
Again, man, I can't say it enough. I'm doing a $185 vehicle that's as big, if not bigger than the His Tank, for $115 less than the His Tank, and I don't need to crowdfund it. So yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Goon. Suka says, almost like people are starting to realize inflation is just money grabbing by corporations. A lot of it is. A lot of it is gouging and then claiming it's inflation. I'm not saying that's what Hasbro's doing. I don't know, but I've read a bunch of stuff about that. Thank you, Suka. We got one from Mr. Nomad. He says, I'm here. Time for some
emotional damage.
Thank you, Mr. Nomad. Ramen Toy says, top, middle, and bottom is not a myth. Stay tuned. What could it be? Let's put on our conspiracy hats. What are you doing, Ramen? Let's see here. Then Ace says Ryan was in the displaying model behavior live stream after their live stream presentation. No, I wasn't.
Ryan Ting, I think he's talking about.
Oh, Ryan. Okay. Why don't they come to this stream? Gotcha. Well, they did.
We're too real for them.
Come to the arena and interact with your customers, maybe.
We're too real for
Hey,
them.
hey, credit to Dan Yoon for coming in here, and that was.
I know, right?
That's
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's something Dan
That
would
was
do.
awesome.
That's why we like him. That's why we like him.
I
Yeah.
wish he would have stayed.
Okay, here's one that we can address. DS. I wonder what that stands for.
Oh, here we go.
What about Vala's vehicles been over 100 with no lights and sound when
Okay.
Playmates and McFarlane are between 40 to 60?
Okay. I'm going to talk real slow because you don't really understand, because I think our good friend Michael French says it best that collectors don't pay attention to detail. I'll try not to sound like an asshole when I'm saying this response to you, but it was a stupid question. So you said vehicles are no lights and sounds. Okay, well, the NECA and the McFarlane ones, they don't have lights and sounds. So okay, so throw that out the window. All right, so let's take the Batmobile, because that's one just came out. So the Batmobile, yeah, it was long. Go buy that Batmobile and take it apart. Tell me what's inside of it. You know what's inside of it? Nothing. It's a shell. It's a bottom chassis. It's a top shell. It's two wings and a cockpit cover. There's nothing to it. It's also black plastic. No deco. Some deco on the lights, front and back, and some on the dashboard. Okay, well, I have the same amount of deco on my dashboard, so let's cancel those ones out. Okay, well, you have the two lights on the front deco and two lights on the back. Okay, let's see. I have real lights. Like, I have like molded pieces instead of just deco to make it, not look like lazy lights. I got real 2-piece lights. So it's 2-piece lights with deco on the inside to show the reflection of the lights on the front. Oh, and one's on the back. All right, let's see. Oh, I got a working winch with rope, 12 inches of rope. Batmobile doesn't have that. Let's see. It's got 4 removable doors. It holds 10 figures. So 6 on the inside. So how many does the Batmobile hold? Oh, 1. That's right, 1 figure. Okay. Let's see. We got a turret up top with a removable double machine gun with a muzzle flash effect. We have a control arm with a bunch of screws in it with a 240 on it that can be taken off to go on the control arm inside the trunk. There's some gas cans inside the trunk. A whole bunch of deco on it. There's some Tampo on the door. There's, let's see, because there's 4 doors in the front windshield, so that's 4 windows. Batmobile had 1 on the front there. It's got an opening trunk on the back. Oh, with another window over there too. So maybe take a step back and ask your question to yourself again. How that's $60 and mine's $185. Mine also comes with a figure. So where are you now?
A newly sculpted figure.
Yeah. So
have you felt the '89 Batmobile?
No, I heard it's really thin.
Yeah, it is.
It's really thin.
And also, how many do you think Todd made? If you had to guess.
Oh, easily 100,000.
Right.
100,000. So I know you probably don't understand how MOQs work, but
right.
When you say you do mine at a fraction of that, your cost is higher. When you do his at 100,000 pieces, your cost greatly gets reduced, like substantially. So there you go. There was your lesson. So yeah, that's why. There's the answer to your question. Next time, don't ask a stupid question. Maybe just do some research first.
M. Vargo, thank you, sir. Would there ever have been a price for Cookie Monster to fund, or was that one always doomed? I don't think the desire was there for Cookie Monster. I don't remember what it cost, but I just don't think a life-size Cookie Monster was. I don't think the market was screaming for it, and I think that's why it got like 200 people that backed it.
Yeah.
Cursa Fenrir, thank you for becoming a channel member. We got White Vegeta, thank you, sir. I would like Mole Man's Kaiju monsters with alternative swappable heads to encourage army building with extra Mole Men as stretch goals. That would be cool too. That's getting even more obscure. I know that kaiju monster was on the cover of Fantastic Four, a very famous cover, but really obscure for a crowdfund. I don't know if you guys would agree. Tony, would you agree with that, Tony?
Super obscure.
I wasn't even listening, bro. What?
Okay. It's all good.
Tony missed like 3/4 of the show already.
Yeah. I didn't even think he was going to be here.
I wasn't gonna be, but you know, I was laying in bed watching it. I was like, yeah, let's jump in here. This looks fun.
I bet you.
I want to get to the
right now.
after show. Let's rapid fire here.
All right, we'll rapid fire. Mr. Wonderful, thank you. Is Valverse going to be at Toy Fair?
No.
You should be.
No, listen, Toy Fair's stupid. Toy Fair is to like, well, show off. I'm going to show off new stuff. Okay, well, there's nothing to buy there. It's not like there's exclusives there. It's not a show. It's like a media event, and I handle my own media, so I don't give a shit. You know what's bigger than Toy Fair? I'm going to be on Clownfish TV this Sunday. Actually, sorry, I'm going to be recording this Sunday, and then they're going to show the show, and that's a huge channel, so that's big. So I don't need to be on Toy Fair.
Yep, huge channel. We got JC Fett. Thank you, sir. There is a video on YouTube of a 3D printed Blackbird a guy did a while back. Looks great, and the scale is spot on. It can be done. I did see that, and it's very well done. It's huge, but it's not that huge. I would not be surprised if the Blackbird is the next Marvel HasLab, just because I think they're going to run out of things that will fund. Thank you, JC Fett. Jeremy Kerr. He says, thank you, Bobby. Next time my wife reminds me what I paid for my 2 Blitzway Voltrons, I'll tell her I know a guy who paid more for cardboard.
Hey, listen. I was looking for a Blitzway Voltron. I've been to several shows, and I came very close to pulling the trigger on it. And I know that when you miss something, it just keeps going up and up and up as the years go on. So I'm definitely looking for one, but I don't know if I want to buy it for what it's going for. I wish I got it when it first came out.
How high is it now?
I think it's at like 700.
Oh, I think retail was 6. That's not that bad.
Oh, okay.
Renato, thank you for the monthly member chat. He says, "Hola, hermanos. Not worth 200 for me, but I don't know Giant Ant-Man. However, I would pay 200 for NECA, quarter scale movie Taka, and Razar figures. Much love."
Call yourself a Turtles fan?
I think
Toka and Razor. Come on.
I think that NECA might do those, and I bet they'll be 200. If the turtle is 120, right?
Yeah, because they're movie figures, like they're way bigger than the Turtles.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah.
Michael, thank you for the super chat. Just tuning in. Did Bobby Vella just say he's going out of business? That's horrible. I love your work and diligence.
No, when I say that, I say it really sarcastically, because there's a bunch of people out there that keep thinking that my company's going under. They said that I'd never get to Series 2, and I got to Series 2, so they needed something new, and they said, well, he'll never get to Series 3. And I got to Series 3, and I go, he's done after that. He'll never get to anything. Well, no, I put out like 4 more series of SDS after that. And, I'm doing vehicle now, and we got Series 4 coming, and I lowered prices because I can, not because I'm losing money. Because if I were losing money, I wouldn't be able to fund a vehicle that's not crowdfunded. So it's our funny way of making them look as dumb as they actually are.
Rasper lets you know that it's on BBTS for 700.
Ooh, that's the funny thing. I look at that, I'm like, oh, 700. But I didn't even bat an eye when I saw that Bestman playset. That's kind of the funny thing is, like I look at what I paid for a vinyl Cape Jawa, and it's just like, I didn't think twice. But then it's like, there's some things that are 4 times the size of a vinyl Cape Jawa. And I'm just like, oh, I don't know, 500. Oh, that's a lot. It's weird. It's the mentality of collecting is weird.
Action Figure Atorium says he's going out for business. Yes. He put out a really great video about the Mattel and Motu ownership. The question that was made by someone about Mattel not owning Masters. Action Figure Atorian put out a great video. Everyone should go check it out. After this, though, and after the member only after stream. Okay, Jeremy, thank you for the super chat. How come Bobby car not cost like other car when both car have 4-wheel?
That's a great impression of Jeremy.
Yeah, you notice
That's
that guy didn't stick around. I hope he hears my response to his stupid question.
Let's see here. Headcanon, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, I want to hear more about Bobby's cold bath setup from earlier. Hop on the after show. We can talk about that there. Thank you for that super chat, Headcanon. I think we could put a pin in it there, right? Wrap it up, guys. What do you think?
I mean, what did we learn tonight? We learned we're a bunch of haters. We learned that we don't like anything, especially anything that Hasbro puts out, and we're just angry. We're just angry people.
That's correct.
We're angry people with more viewers. Suck it.
Here we go. Tony, this is for you. Junkion with his monthly member chat. Give Tony a beer, a raw egg, and some Old Bay.
What's Old Bay?
It's a spice. It's it's Old Bay is like a seasoning you put on seafood and stuff like that. It's not good.
Doesn't sound great.
Yeah, it's not good.
Impossible Pie, yes, it has ratcheted knees. Lester, San Jose, the Skeptic Tank, monthly member chat. Appreciate you guys giving the insights many don't want to acknowledge. Bobby, keep killing it. Tony, loved your Big Ben review.
Yeah, that Big Ben review was a fucking good video.
It was.
Great video.
Yeah, man.
Really good.
Yeah. It was so good. It made me not do a Big Ben video.
People still want to see your Big Ben video, man. I want to see it.
Mine's going to be more like of an artistic showcase. Let's just show, let's not focus on the inaccuracies. Your shit was too good. Your shit was too good.
TC became a YouTube member. Thank you, sir. Welcome to the Loaded Potato member level. You can tune in to the after show. And then, yeah, that's it. We're good. Okay, guys, thank you. Appreciate you. Ninja, thanks for jumping on and filling in for Tony.
I appreciate it, man. I'm glad that Tony came through, and I'm sorry if I cursed too much.
That's all right. I did a bunch of cursing.
Too fucking late now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's over. All right, guys. Members, about 15 minutes. We'll hop into the after show. Hope to see you all there. If you're not a member, click the join button down below. Unless you're on an Apple, iPhone, or iPad, then you got to open it up in a browser to find that join button. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you later.